series. So literally we are going to together get you guys set up for back to school, hopefully take some stress out of the way and get you guys going. Danielle, can you tell them what our topic is tonight?
Probably my most excited topic for back to school, which is back to school night, because there are so many elements that go into having a constructive and welcoming back to school night, and ClassTag can definitely help you get there. So we're going to show you all about our tips and tricks. I could talk about my experience as a teacher using ClassTag and what I found successful, and then also some technical parts at the very end if you want to learn a little bit more about how to make sure you're meeting all your parents in terms of getting them signed up.
And we kind of laughed this week. We were on a call with our advisors earlier this week and talking about, Meet the Parents. For us as educators, it was Meet the Parents night, and how kind of exciting that is and a little bit stressful. So hopefully some of the resources will get you or ways to set up and make it easier help. But if you have never joined us before, we're going to start with a little bit of introductions this time. I forgot last time. But my name is Sam. I'm the content and product marketing manager here at ClassTag. I've been with ClassTag for about 3.5 years now. This is, I think, my fourth summer or, fourth back to school season with ClassTag. And I also, before ClassTag, worked as a virtual teacher for 3 years and an in-building normal teacher for 2. And Danielle, how about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle. I am a customer success manager at ClassTag, which is basically a fancy way of saying that I support schools and districts on board with ClassTag Connect and make sure that they're meeting their goals. So if you're interested in learning more about school-wide with ClassTag, feel free to send me an email. It's Danielle@ClassTag. I'd be happy to set you up. Before joining the ClassTag team about 2 years ago, 3 summers ago, I was also an educator. I taught in elementary grades K through 3, and I spent a year as an assistant principal. So I had a great time supporting teachers with their teaching practice and behavior management and everything under the sun. So just talking about back to school, Sam, I just wanted to share an anecdote from my back to school nights when I was teaching in New York City Charter. So I taught kindergarten for 3 years. And if you can imagine a kindergarten classroom, the chairs are super tiny. The desks are even tinier. So when parents would come to my classroom, you would see just like grown adults sitting in these teeny tiny little chairs. And it was hilarious.
That would be me. Like as a parent, I've done that. Like I've been like, I guess I'm sitting in this little chair. We're going to roll with it. That's perfect, Danielle. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. But so I would always start my back to school night with, I would go like this, which is my way of getting attention of my students. So I would walk in, like they wouldn't even know who I was. I mean, they probably saw my face, but I would do the clap. And if they didn't answer me, I would do it again. And then I would do it again until they caught on. And I was like,
That's
well,
awesome.
This is the first way you're going to experience what your students feel like when I need to get their attention in class. And so
live sessions and show everyone what the Chrome extension can do. And it works right within Google Classroom, and you can message parents right within Google Classroom and they get it, just like they would if they were you were messaging them right within ClassTag. So hopefully maybe that's a workaround for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead, Danielle.
I was going to say, Joy, definitely reach out to us because, I mean, it won't be much of a lift to continue using ClassTag with Google Classroom. We even have the parent portal, so all information you're posting in Google Classroom is going to showcase right in the student backpack.
And one of the nice things about Parent Portal is you don't need the parent doesn't need the child's password to see the grades, materials needed, assignments that are due. They can actually see everything right from ClassTag. It's kind of nice because I know one of the biggest concerns was like kids. I taught teenagers and Danielle taught kindergartners, but the teenagers wouldn't give passwords to their parents. So yeah, so this is like the perfect workaround. Parents can totally see grades and assignments and everything. And Joy, don't worry if it got cut off. This is going to be, this is recorded and you guys are more than welcome to watch afterwards. So it'll be there just in case you missed anything we said. So diving right into it, Danielle, I always tell teachers that one of the best ways to get started on class tag before you even add a parent is to make an announcement. And that's so that when parents are actually added to the platform, they have something to come to. And usually I always recommend include like a welcome video or, something to kind of help them acclimate. Can you walk us through how to create an announcement and what that looks like?
Yes, I would love to. So just give me a second. I'm going to share my screen.
And like I said, teachers, feel free to let us know what grades you're teaching, where you're from. We love hearing teacher stories, and you guys going back to school, it gets us really excited. So drop us a comment. We love it. And Danielle, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you. So to create your first announcement, you're going to click the orange plus sign at the top right-hand corner of your screen, and you're going to click the first button that says announcement. So an announcement is going to broadcast to all families within your classroom. So as Sam mentioned, she said, before you even add parents to your classroom, you want to post your first announcement. And if you're thinking, well, it's not going to post to any of my families, that's still fine, because when they are added to the platform, they'll have something to look at when they first arrive. It's like, I don't know, leaving a sandwich for your boyfriend or someone on the table, so when they get home, they have something to eat. I mean, that was super random. But
right? I know. My kid would love it. She'd be like, leave me a snack, please.
Can you tell I'm hungry? So you're going to put in the title of your announcement, the message. You can send it out at a later date or time, add files, videos, or photos. For our Google integrated teachers out there, you can attach any documents. If you are teaching multiple sections, you can also tag other classrooms that you manage, which is super cool. And when you're done and you post it, it's going to populate underneath your classroom feed. For time's sake, I'm going to show you an example of announcement that I created for my families when they are added to the platform. So this is their sandwich that they look forward to when they get home. So if you see here, I have my title, and I added a personalized message for my families. I was able to link the ClassTag website so they can go in and log in and learn more about ClassTag. I also was able to add a direct URL link to a video about how to get started with ClassTag for parents. So when they look at this announcement, they can easily watch this short 9-minute video that goes through how to create their account settings to signing up for parent-teacher conferences, which will most likely be a feature that you look forward to using on ClassTag. I also attached some links, some PDF files, so they can easily download flyers that I've attached about ClassTag over here. And so a welcome announcement is just a great way to get families excited for the school year, but also to really set the tone about using ClassTag. Sam, what do you think?
I think I love it. As a remote teacher, and for those of you tuning in, I'm going to drop a link with what Danielle has written that you can just literally copy and paste from a template and put it into your announcement. So you don't even need to worry about writing your first announcement. We did it for you. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. And the other thing I want to add is, as a virtual teacher, this always worked really well with my students and families, is that I literally would record a video and put it on YouTube. It would be something like, hi, this is Ms. Hall, welcoming you to 7th grade civics this year. And then I would post that so that when they came on, they knew who I was, they understood expectations for the year, and there was really no confusion. It was right there. And Danielle, this link is on YouTube. This Getting Started with ClassTag for Parents is on YouTube, and it's actually part of our launch kit. So I will also drop that link in. So if you are, stressing out that you don't have things to show, you have to show every parent exactly what to do. You don't. We did it for you. You can give them a video and let them walk through it, and hopefully it takes a little bit of stress off your hands. And Danielle, do you want to show, once you get the announcement set up, there is an alternative if you're also teaching virtually, which is using parent-teacher conferences as like a welcome call. Can you kind of walk me through that and what that looks like?
Yeah, so if you go back to the orange plus sign at the top right-hand corner of your ClassTag account, you'll see a button that says Parent-Teacher Conference. When you click that, it'll allow you to create a parent-teacher conference. Now, Sam is talking about using parent-teacher conferences for welcome calls. And although this says parent-teacher conferences, you can easily use this as a way to create virtual welcome calls with your family, meaning that they can sign up to meet with you one-on-one. If you're someone who has Google integrated, you can have it connect to your Google Calendar for the specific time slots for each family that's meeting with you. And also it creates a special Google Meet link for every private session, which is super neat. So you're going to select the days. So just for the sake of time, I'm just going to click a few. Continue. Here is the ability to edit the title. So you can call it Welcome Calls, add in the details. For location, if it's in your classroom or it's virtually, you can put that for location. And if you're someone who's doing these welcome calls virtually, you want to select the Google Meet and toggle it to the right. Preview, it'll tell you the time slots. Done. And I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like. So I created one that you can see that has a little bit more information, more specific to what we're talking about. So as you can see here, I have the location as the meeting virtual. I prompted parents to let them know that they would receive a specific Google Meet link, the time. So the time here is going to be the duration of when the welcome calls start to when they end. I put in the description, different topics that can be talked about during the welcome calls. And I just think welcome calls in general, especially if you're a virtual teacher, this may be one of the very few opportunities that you have a chance to meet with both the parent and the student in one setting. And so really having a dedicated time to just talk about anything under the sun to really understand that student and really set the expectation for the year is such a great opportunity. And underneath, you'll see here that there's the time slots that I'm available as a teacher. So when families receive this, they can pick the time they want to sign up. And now to let you know more about what parents are going to see, when this is broadcasted out, families that are connected by email will receive an email and be able to actually sign up for these slots in the email. And if you say that a parent tells you in passing or they talk to you on the phone and they're like, I'm available August 23rd from 7:30 to 8, you as a teacher can go in and assign that parent to the time slot, which is super neat. And so as you can see really here,
so nice.
I know. And then taking it one step further, I'm going to bring you to my calendar for the 23rd of August, which is a Monday. And it's going to populate on my calendar. My computer's a little slow. Insert elevator music.
Right. And while there you go. It's perfect.
So it copied the detail of the announcement. It's the specific Google Meet link for that parent, a link that brings them back to ClassTag. So if families have their Google Calendar synced on ClassTag, they will also get this automatically pushed in addition to you receiving it for every single parent that signs up for a time slot with you.
And the other thing that I want to add in is some of you we've heard a lot of news of people going back hybrid and, still teaching unfortunately, while you're in the classroom to people who are not in the classroom, you can do a parent night, a back to school parent night, and leave some time, maybe sectioned off to do some remote, calls. One of the things I loved about this as a virtual teacher is, and not even just as a virtual teacher, even a normal teacher, is that not every parent can really show up. Maybe they have work at this time, they could take a break and they can chat with you and they really do care about their child's education, but maybe they're like an overnight, nurse or something. And this is such a great way to connect with families, even though it's not like a traditional way you would have done it. It's not meet the parent night, but it is like a welcome call. I know there are a lot of parents who really appreciate that time, and hey, at least they can be involved in their child's education, and you can meet them where they are. And we have had quite a bit of people saying hi. So hey guys, thank you for joining us. Like I said earlier, please let us know where you're from, what grade you're teaching. It's so exciting to us to hear from teachers and see how they're doing. So Danielle, once you get all set up and, either remote, hybrid, or, going back in person, let's say you're ready to add some parents now. Do you want to talk about maybe like the technical part of adding parents and making sure we're really for real reaching every parent?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, but when you are ready to add parents, it's super important that you let them know that you are there as their support and guidance as they learn ClassTag for the first time. If you want parents to engage on ClassTag, sign up for events, sign up for your welcome calls, you need to show them how to do that. And so the best way to do that is to show them how to download the app, which is by far the best experience to be on the go with ClassTag, and for them to keep up to date on all the pictures you're posting and everything that's happening in your classroom. So step one is I would show parents how to download the app. After you do that, regardless of how they're logging in or signing up, they're going to be prompted at the ClassTag homepage. When they click Get Started, they're going to select as a parent. And when they do that, they're going to be prompted with 3 different options. Now, these 3 different options will depend on how that parent has been invited to ClassTag or how they've been added in the past. So what I mean about that. So if they have been invited by a paper invitation, meaning that you created your ClassTag classroom, you added your students, and you decided that you wanted to download the parent invitations for each of your families. When you give them their specific paper with their child's name on it, they'll have a code on there. So when they put in the code and they put the code here and click the arrow, it's going to automatically connect that guardian to their student's account and give them access to ClassTag. With that same code, parents can add up to 5 other guardians on their student's account. So 6 total. So what's really nice about the paper copy, if you wanted to use it or you're using it as a supplemental way to invite families, is to know that you may have some other families that join your that student's account because they have the ability to add 6 more. And the more the merrier, because the more guardians you add to a student's account, the more engagement you'll have and the more in the know the whole entire family will be about what's happening in that child's classroom. If you are a returning ClassTag user and you're using ClassTag for 2nd year, your families can use the same login as they did the year before. So for families who have existing account, I would prompt them to click I have an account. Now, when they click I have an account, they're just going to log in as normal. And when they log in, they'll see the new classrooms that they've been invited to or they're added to so that they can start receiving communication. Now, I don't know about you, and Sam, you could probably agree with this. There's so many different logins for so many apps, and a lot of times you start to forget what your password is. I mean, I've used the same
Real.
password since 2007, but after a while, I have to use a different password. So there is an option when you create an account. Let me just find it for you to click
This is my
forget password.
favorite. You know what my favorite thing is, and I just want to pause, guys. Use single sign-on with Google. It makes me so happy. I know that sounds so funny, but then you don't have to remember your password. I love single sign-on with Google 100 times. Anyways, I had to deter there. It's the best.
And it's such a good point, because if parents use a Google account, they can log in with their Google and they don't have to worry about a password either. It's not just for teachers or leaders. It's for every user, which is pretty neat.
For all of us.
Yeah. But if your parent happens to forget their password, it happens. Just have them select forget password, and we'll send them an invite to fix their password to their email or their cell phone, whichever way they've been invited to class tag. And then lastly, this is for guardians that you've added to your classroom directory, and they say, I can't find the invite. I don't know where it is, Ms. Fugazi. What do I do? So they're going to select the last option at the bottom, check for an existing invitation. When they click on this, what it's going to do is it's going to have them put in their email or phone number to check for an invitation. If their email or phone number comes up, they'll have the ability to select to resend the invite. It will then be pushed to their email or phone number for them to click to sign up for class tag. Now, regardless on how your families are connected or the option that they select, if they're a new parent to class tag, when they click on their invite, this is the screen they're going to see. Now, Sam, I don't know about you, but I feel like this is like top secret information for teachers, since they most likely don't see this page, but they know about it.
And it kind of cracks me up because, as an educator, even you and I have said this before, like, what are the parents saying? I need to know. And this is like your secret window into what parents see.
Yes, it is. And this is actually the same exact screen you see when your leader or a colleague has invited you to class tag to join your school. So they'll just fill in their information. What's really nice is that if you invited a family member in English and they speak Spanish, but you're like, oh, I wish I invited them in Spanish, they still have the option when they sign up for class tag to go in and pre-select their language. So everything they receive on the platform will be in the language of their choice. So yeah, that's a little bit of an insight on what you should do for supporting families once you've added them to the directory.
That's awesome. And I'm actually going to take the opportunity to kind of share my screen. I want to show you guys, I dropped this in comments, and then I'm going to drop it again just now. We have an entire blog written just for you guys, showing you how to host the perfect back to school night. And everything that Danielle's kind of talked about this entire time is on this blog. So you'll be able to, you have a welcome announcement, the one that we talked about where you can copy and paste it. You have tips for parents. These are tips for parents. You can give them to the parents and say, hey, we know e-learning is rough. Here are some tips to keep your kiddo on track. We give you some advice on meeting parents where they're at, depending on if you're, going back face-to-face or if you're going back remote. This is the video that Danielle dropped in her announcement. And all you need is the YouTube link, and you can just drop the YouTube link right in the announcement. And, here's your presentation to show parents. And, some advice on keeping parents engaged after back to school. So, feel free to, if you're not quite going back to school yet, but you're gearing up, maybe just bookmark this and come back to it. It's a step-by-step instructions packed full of pro tips from our actual class tag teachers, and hopefully it will, help you get set up for the year.
That's a super helpful resource, Sam. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. I know that like we would just want to take the stress away from you guys. We know that it's been such a stressful year. And Danielle, I can't even let you tell me thank you because you did half of it. Danielle is, if you ever get to see videos on YouTube and you wonder who is this nice voice, like walking me through, that's Danielle. That is Danielle walking you through step by step on how to get things done.
And I feel like it's only getting better because we have Caressa, who is my colleague. She's amazing and makes some amazing PD videos. So you'll definitely be seeing her to sometime soon in some of these videos.
And FYI, guys, we actually have videos coming in Spanish, and we have like flyers for parents in Spanish. So huge thank you to our lead advisors who jump on the opportunity to really make sure that you guys are in a good spot going back to school and throughout the year. We really value feedback, and our lead advisors are there to listen in. And yes, Christy, that is the blog is linked on the main ClassTag website. So if you go to ClassTag, and I'll show my screen again, just so you guys know where the blog is. Here, let me get rid of the pretty graphic. You go to classtag.com, and sorry, I'm the one who edits our blogs a lot of the time. So if you see some weird orange like boxes, that's, you know, just ignore it. It's me. It's me editing our blogs. If you go to this page and you go all the way down to the very, very bottom, you're going to see blog right under Help Center, which also, if you haven't visited our Help Center, it is an amazing way to just kind of, you know, think of any question you have. It's probably been answered at some point. We have a great user support team. Here's the launch kit if you're looking for it. And if you kind of do a drop down, you can go anywhere in here. A lot of, you know, resources, learning and pedagogy is probably a good one to go to because it kind of outlines throughout the year what you might need help with. You know, end of the year celebrations, they are in chronological order, so you might have to dig a little bit, but don't feel bad if you're looking for something specific, an answer to a question. Sam@classtag.com. I will be more than happy to set you up with any resources you might need. So don't feel bad if you want to email me and ask me if you need a resource. It's totally fine. And Danielle is the guru at the product for sure. She knows anything and everything.
Thank you. I feel like when people think of a blog, they think, oh, it's just I'm going to be reading about someone's opinion. It's going to be like a 5-minute article. I mean, that's dramatic, but there's so many good resources in our blog. There really are. And it's more content heavy where it's giving you best practices, resources to use, templates, all of those great things than just reading an article. So I really hope you take advantage of it.
And for those of you, we don't really talk about this, but the blogs, if you see a pro tip, it is written by a teacher. It's a person who's been a teacher who, you know, we ask, it might have been you might have filled out a survey and gave us some great advice and we took it and used it as a pro tip. So those pro tips are teacher approved and teacher loved. They are things that we find really do actually work. And I think that's all we have for tonight, but we do monitor the chat, guys, for 24 hours afterwards, and probably longer than that because we love hearing and seeing your comments. So feel free to drop a comment. If you come back with a question and you're like, I don't know the answer to this, Sam@classtag.com, Danielle@classtag.com, or if it's a really hard question, support@classtag.com. We have an amazing support team and they know all the answers. If we don't know the answers, we'll get you to someone who definitely does have the answer. So signing off tonight, we'll be back next Wednesday and looking forward to see you guys then.